Hey, how's it going? So this is like how to mobile optimize elements. Okay, so the easiest way, so let's create a div, call it my box, and then put some text into it. Let's do 1 and 10. So this is going to be here, and let's make a box. Right, so what you want to do is you want to start wide. Why? Because when you start wide, you can see a lot clearer how elements are being positioned, right? Because sometimes you have like, let me just give you an example. Buffer, for example. Look, you see elements. Let's just do this. You see elements like this. Whoopsie, my apologies. You see elements like this. You probably can guess that this is gonna go down because this is a flex box, right? So if we shrink it, it's probably going to jump. You see? So this is a flex box, and at some point, so this is flex direction is row, and when you shrink it, it becomes column, and that's it, right? Now, if you do it this way, if you just start small, let's say we start small with 375, it's not always obvious that this is all part of the same box. Do you see how everything is just squashed together, and it's very hard to read whether something is actually single element or is just a part of a bigger element. So that's what I'm saying, is that it's much better to start like this, and then you can see the boxes, right? Okay, so you want to start wide, so default is gonna be like, so let's do my box, let's do padding 30 pixels, margin, let's do, I don't know, 20 pixels, whatever, and then let's do border 1 pixel, solid black. So this is gonna be our default, right? Yeah. So this is our default. Let me just remove this. This would be easier to see. Oh, it's in here. Okay, so this is our box, right? So now we want to create a rule where between 0 to 1200 the color of the border becomes red, right? So the way to do that, this is how I personally do it. I mean, there are a lot of ways of doing it, but I normally do add media. So let's write it down. So this will be between 0 to 120. I'm using bootstrap breaking points. They're called breaking points. Media all, and this is going to be max width 100 pixels, right? So we're gonna put my box into it, and we're gonna turn. Honestly, let's make this into 5 pixels, so it's a lot easier to see it. Actually, let's just make 10 pixels. It's gonna look ugly, but we're not really, trying to win an award here. So border 10 pixel. Actually, I'll just do color. Let's do green. So this will change the border as well. So now you see, once we get to, oh whoops, it doesn't change the border. God damn it. Maybe it's border color. I think border color should do it, right? No? Yeah, there it is. You see, so as soon as it becomes 1.2 thousand or less, so between 0 and 1.2 thousand, that's when it becomes green. Okay, so next thing we want to do between 0 and 992. Now, so it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same, right? Only we change this to 992. 992, and we're gonna change this to yellow. So now think about it, right? How is it going to respond? It's going to go anything between 100, 1200 and 992 is going to be green. Anything below 992 and 0 is going to be yellow. Alright? And anything above 112 is going to be default, which is this one here. So let's look at it. Alright? So now we are above 1.2 thousand, so it's black. Now we are below 1.2 thousand, so now it's green. So as soon as we go below 998, 992, it's going to become yellow. Alright? So do you see this query here? Max width means between 0 and whichever number you put in, right? But if you do it twice, it will prioritize this one. Does that make sense? So effectively speaking, this becomes 992 after the change. So between this and this, it becomes green. And now we want to like, you just need to physically do it, and then couple of times, and then you will figure out. Right, so next breaking point we want to do is 768. So 768, again, it's the same thing. Seven, 6, 8. And let's make this so we don't have red. Let's do red. So now basically how it's going to work, right? So I'm gonna actually pause and I'll ask what the color is. Okay, so what's gonna be the color right now? Okay, so once it's on 1.2 thousand, what's gonna be the color? And the color is going to be green. Below 1.2 thousand, right? So this is between 1.2 thousand and 992. As soon as we hit 992, it becomes yellow, right? Now, as soon as we hit 768, it becomes red. You see? And so forth. Now we can do, next breaking point is, so let's do, we can just actually copy and paste this thing here. So this will be 576, I think, right? 576. And let's make it blue. So as soon as we get into 576, it becomes blue. So 0 to 576 is blue. Then it's red. Okay, and the final one we do is 375, I think, is the one that I use. Now this one's completely optional, honestly, because, I mean, so this is 576. And this is 375. You can do like 400, 425, 425, 325 as well. I think this is the smallest you could possibly get, to be honest with you. But I don't really optimize. I just stick with 375 because, I mean, it's very hard to get a mobile phone this small. So let's call this I don't know, violet. Violet, there you go. So you see, that's how you mobile optimize. You can do each element separately. Like, so if you look at something like this, you can see, okay, how does this element behave in here? And then you can just look at it from this perspective, you know? In the beginning, you're gonna have to kind of optimize. When you're a beginner, you have to optimize each element, but then you can kind of see, okay, so this has a fixed height and fixed width, right? And you can just do flex align items, let's say space between, or whichever way you want to do it, you know. And that's about it. That's about it. Take care.